When we talk about open road tolling, it's actually the next phase of that. And that's a way that we modernize the operations to really meet our customer expectations for that seamless nonstop travel.
I wanted to get some details on the Turnpike's move to all electronic tolling, or I know the term open road tolling has been used as well. First, what do you mean by those terms?
Absolutely. So we moved to all electric tolling actually in 2020. And when we say all electric tolling, it refers to the electronic collection of tolls. So no, we are a cashless system, and that was something that we moved to during the pandemic. It is something that we have had in the planning for 15 years now, but obviously the pandemic accelerated that. When we talk about open road tolling, it's actually the next phase of that, and that's a way that we modernize the operations to really meet our customer expectations for that seamless nonstop travel. 86% of our customers are actually Easy Pass customers. So we know it's the preferred method of collection of toll collection for those who are riding on the PA Turnpike. So when we talk about open road tolling, what that means is that there's no toll plazas or traditional toll booths that you see now, and instead customers are charged as they're driving at highway speeds under what we call gantries. And the gantries are these overhead structures. And I can send you a picture of it too, so you can see what that looks like. But these are structures that are between interchanges that have equipment that would capture and identify vehicle information, like a transponder, or if you're a toll by plate customer, it would capture the license plate of that vehicle.
Okay.
So the difference between now with the all electric tolling is that we are collecting tolls at the toll booths under the overheads, and open road tolling moves those to the highway. So they're called again gantries, and you don't have to slow down, you don't have to stop. You can continue going at highway speeds to process your tolls.
You mentioned that the pandemic kind of started you on this path, but obviously you're continuing on that. Why are you making the move, or is the Turnpike making this move to fully open road tolling at this time?
Absolutely. So we have been talking about open road tolling for 15 years. So the pandemic isn't what started that conversation. It's just what accelerated that conversation. So we know that again, customers prefer electronic collection of tolls with the Easy Pass. So we moved to open road tolling as a safer, more convenient way for customers to travel. And we're ready now to introduce that here to Pennsylvania.
Now, a release from the Turnpike mentioned cost savings that are involved in this. And I'm wondering if we can start talking about that a little bit. How much
Sure.
of a cost savings, and how is the Turnpike achieving those savings?
Absolutely. So, with open road tolling, expected to save the turnpike $25 million a year, and that's based on maintenance and operations of traditional toll plazas. So that is how much we're expecting to save with open road tolling. And again, that's based on the maintenance and the construction of like traditional toll plazas.
Will that savings be passed on to the toll payers?
Yeah, absolutely. So all of our savings go directly onto the roadway and providing a safer and reliable customer value toll road. So we put that money back into expanding our road system, providing that safe nonstop travel. So we do have a 24/7 Pennsylvania State Police coverage, and it also goes into maintenance and our safety patrols that are on the highway. So it goes into supporting customers who choose to ride the Pennsylvania Turnpike.
Your release mentioned some other advantages that the Turnpike is gaining through this. I'm wondering if you can talk about those a little bit. What are some of those advantages?
Absolutely. So open road tolling is a safer, more convenient way for customers to travel. So when I say safer, I mean it eliminates congestion. It reduces the need for lane switching at the interchanges and the booth plazas. It also reduces the risk of rear end collision, which is typically found at tolling booths. So there is definitely a safer advantage of open road tolling. It also increases access to communities. It's a lot easier to build new access points with gantries versus interchanges, and we know that that delivers economic and mobility benefits. We also talk about it being better for the environment and a more sustainable option with nonstop travel and not having to stop at the tolling booths. It lowers emissions, it uses less fuel, and it's cleaner overall for the environment. It also reduces our concrete footprint with the elimination of toll booths and their infrastructure. And then obviously it also reduces like the exhaust emissions, and it does help improve gas mileage as well.
I would imagine there's a lot of idling at those toll plazas as people wait.
Absolutely. Yeah, and with this, with the removal of those toll booths and toll plazas, you won't have that idling. You're not going to have that stop and going. You're not going to have, again, with the rear end accidents that are typically associated with the toll booths.
Okay. It appeared from some of the material from the Turnpike that this switch is being done in stages. Where is the work starting and where will it get underway next?
Absolutely. So the work has been already going is already underway. So we've already been doing this work in the east, so east of Reading and on the northeast extension. And the gantries are built. We are testing the equipment now, and we're going to be ready to introduce open road tolling east of Reading and on the northeast extension in January. So that is ready to go come this January. We're also going to be starting construction west of Reading. So we're going to be working on that in 2025 with the goal of introducing open road tolling to the entire system in 2027. And then as part of the open road tolling, like I mentioned, we're going to be removing the toll booth plazas. So the interchange rework and the demolition of those toll booths are going to be completed in late 2026 east of Reading, and then late 2028 west of Reading. And when you see those removed, that'll be our final phase of the open road tolling.
And once these gantries are installed, um, will the electronic tolling or the open road tolling, I guess is the correct term there, go live on that section or on each section as it's completed? Or is the plan to get everything installed on the full turnpike before making that switch?
So we're going to do this in phases. So we're going to go live with open road tolling east of Reading and on the northeast extension in January, this January, and then we will introduce it across the entire turnpike in 2027, and that will involve the electronic processing of tolls under the gantries, and then we're going to complete the demolition and the interchange in 2028.
One of the things we've seen in some other places that have gone to this type of tolling system is that sometimes errors do occur, and that's even true with things like Easy Pass. What sort of system is the Turnpike putting in place for people to use if they think that there's an error in their billing?
So one thing I don't think people realize about the Pennsylvania Turnpike is we have an entire customer service team that actually is highly ranked from our customers on the Pennsylvania Turnpike. So we already have that customer service team set up, and if people believe there is an error in their billing, that they can either fill out, there's a customer contact form, or they can call our customer service center directly, and I can give you that number. It's 1-877 736-6727.
Okay. Is there
I
anything else?
got to memorize now.
There you go.
Yeah, it was one of the first numbers I memorized, that and star 11.
There we go. Well, is there anything else in particular that the public needs to know about this change as it's underway?
I think just that we're really excited to bring the future of tolling here to the Turnpike. We know that this is something that our customers want. We know it's a more convenient and safer way of traveling. And we know that other tolling agencies across the nation have incorporated this in some capacity. So we're really excited to bring the future of tolling here to Pennsylvania.